back again. It's Dave Zamansky. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again for another unbox this time around. Now you guys know I'm all over the place with the fandoms. Obviously right behind me you guys can see we got the Marvels, we got the DC Universe right below that. Obviously we got the Ghostbusters. And it swings back around, we have NECA. We have a whole selection of different NECA, whether it's Ninja Turtles, Back to the Future, and I got a little shelf of miscellaneous. However, I also got into something that's not NECA, but it's pretty on scale with NECA. And that would be the Masters of the Universe Revelations. That is the one that was released by Netflix. It's a Netflix origin, or I shouldn't say origin, but it's kind of an offshoot of the original Masters of the Universe line, but with a little bit of a darker take to it. There's a lot of criticisms as far as the fandoms go, but the figures have been fire, okay? Now, what I got this time around, our latest offering, is Masters of the Universe Revelations Faker. Now, those who know, Faker is one of Skeletor's minions that he tried to pass off as Superman. Okay, so I picked this up. Now, some of the other figures have been roughly around the price points of $20, $24, depending on where you're shopping. Okay, now a big package like this, and without all the extras that he has here, I actually picked them up for $19.99 at Target. So if you're out and about at Target, you might want to pick this one up. I mean, I've picked up Skelegod and a few others for roughly around $30. So this is actually pretty good, considering the price point. And look at how many different accessories. I mean, even before even opening up the box, we have the head that comes on him. We have the all-metal cybernetic head, and then we have the fake He-Man head right there. He's already wearing some armor, but then you got the faux Skeletor, Havoc kind of armor right there. You get his shield. There's a lot of accessories here. Now, just for comparison, let me before we even crack this one open, let me show you the He-Man that actually came out of that series. How good does he look? I mean, the detail on him, I mean, yes, it's not the classic He-Man in Masters Universe, but it's not supposed to be. This is supposed to be a Netflix adaptation of it. Kevin Smith is loosely involved. I personally, my whole opinion is he's just kind of the eye candy as far as name recognition. That's how I view it. But here we go. This is the He-Man. This is this Faker. We're going to compare him in a little bit. But this is good size. Now, I actually use the NECA stands for these figures, because these figures are on scale with NECA. But take a look at, Mattel did an amazing job with the hair sculpt, coloring, shading of the accessories, the shield. And what's great about this comes right off. There's just little straps that it pulls right out, and bam. The sword itself is very good detail. It's not just your basic gray, but they added a little bit of silver to it to give it that more metallic look. And I really love the contrast here. Now the contrast may not show up as much on camera, but it shows up it just shows up tremendously in person, to be perfectly honest. Now we're going to take a look at one of the bad guys. This was Evelyn. Evelyn actually came with two head sculpts, one with her usual headdress and one without. And I mean, the accessories that they give you here, and if you notice, you could take her scepter and just have it hanging right on the belt right there. How awesome is that? We never had that. Now just take it out of her hand, and you can literally just have it hanging like that. There's a little messenger bag, like her little tote right there. I mean, that's all kinds of craziness that we never really had as kids. Honestly, for all the criticism that the show Revelations has received, especially in this day and age of wokeness and politically correctiveness, and trying to include, that is the inclusion of any and all groups out there, it's, you know, it is what it is. I enjoyed it thoroughly myself. So we're going to set Evelyn off to the side, and we're going to get right to the meat and bones, or the meat and potatoes of Faker. Now again, they give us a nice little stone gray skull background. Get some Very cool Faker art right there. Faker branding right there. And of course we got a nice little graphic right there. With a little synopsis, of course. There you go. Of all the deadly minions of Skeletor's disposal, Faker, mastery of deception and destruction makes him among the most dangerous. The cybernetic doppelganger of He-Man takes on the appearance of Eternia's most powerful protector, fooling many heroes, including the Sorceress of Grayskull herself. By the time the heroes discover Faker's true nature, it may be too late. So there we go. So what do you say we crack right on into this, guys? So let's get right on into this. I am missing my bat knife, so I'm gonna have to get a little bit creative. You guys know I'm an out-of-box collector, so my dad always taught me, if you don't have the tools, you make them. So just use a thin little wrench that I use for my rotary tool to get right through that. That is until I can find my proper tools. So there we go. Like I said, they give you these nice kind of cool stone stands. I mean, if you're looking for something for your, your bookshelves or whatnot, you could probably modify this and, adorn it to the, to kind of create like maybe a couple of these, do like a little display. It's something you could do, guys. A lot of my shelves are open, so it's not something I'll do. Now, you do get another set of hands. We're going to pull the accessories out first, guys. Let me just lower the light here. We get the basic He-Man shield that came with the regular He-Man. We get the Skeletor-esque type armor for Faker. Let's take a look at Faker's heads right now. Okay, so here we go. Kind of like little red Terminator heads right there, or Terminator eyes, I should say. Now, there is a noticeable color difference between Faker and He-Man's hair. He-Man's hair is a little bit lighter, a little bit more evenly groomed than Faker. I don't know how well that's coming across camera, but in person, this is a little bit dirtier, I guess would be the right term. More of a darker yellow instead of a brighter sun. Of course, we have this head sculpt for the Faker cybernetic head. Whoa! Dropped it. I mean, this is sick. I love this. You know what? This head sculpt would be perfect for a DC McFarlane if they did a Steel. I think this would be a killer sculpt to use for something like that. I mean, that's insane right there. The eyes look amazing here. Like I said before, Revelations, I've said this before, it comes off so well. I mean, this is NECA scale, if you ask me. I've said this 1,000 times. You can check out some of my previous videos, and I'll have a link to one of the videos below where I actually compare them with NECA figures. Here's the Faker sword. I actually like this. I would almost be tempted to take the orange and hit it with some gold. I think the gold and silver here would really pop very well instead of just this kind of blah orange here. And we do have a little bit of a, no, that was just a little pizza crap that was on there. But I really think that needs to be metallic and not just that orange plastic. Or if we can get an orange that was more of a metallic look like this, I think that would complement it very well. And of course then hit the same thing on the shield for those orange panels right there. And we do get some extra hands. We have an open hand, and of course we get the sword holding hand right there. Yeah, I mean, I really like this kind of orange metallic luster that they have here. I would really love if they could have done kind of matching treatment to this plastic, but I guess we can come up with some compromises down the line, right? So let's take Faker out. Could that be any louder? Probably. So let's take a look at Faker. So yeah, they did some pretty awesome. They did an awesome job with the sculpt, so we can see like the flesh just coming right off the skin, and then the undertone of the orangey kind of silicone-y flesh over his metal body right there. I mean, they did that. Now there is a little bit of a difference here. Let me increase the light here a little bit. Now if you look at the arm here, arm's a bit more shinier, but then the elbow is more of a duller gray. I'm sure that could be touched up with some silver, maybe some silver argent, if you're good enough, if you have a nice steady hand. It's just that that's a bit disappointing compared to the rest of the body, you know. It's negligible, but it's something that I noticed. I mean, if I can notice it, other people will too. But I love, they really did the sculpt of the skin coming off the body. They did it tremendous here. They did a tremendous, fantastic job. I mean, we even have some of it along the forearm. I mean, all over here. I mean, even on the face itself, it just, we have, and we can take the shield off. So let's do that right now, if it will cooperate. There we go. And let's play around with this one just a little bit. There. So here's Faker and all of his Terminator cybernetic glory. Give you a better idea of the flesh, how it's all ripped apart. And I mean, this is, if you've seen the first episode of Revelations, this is perfect. Now, I did notice a little bit of silver right here that doesn't seem to go with the rest. That could just be a defect, because every bit of silver we see, you can see the flesh ripped off, except for that. That just looks like it's a paint mistake. But I mean, considering how well they did the body, I mean, we only have the flesh burning, or the flesh ripped off on the front of his body, not anywhere else. Not on the legs. The legs were perfectly untouched, but I mean, look at the detail that they have here. The straps of the boots. And the posability on him is just tremendous. I mean, and in case you're wondering, okay, how does he scale? Skin tone is, I think skin tone is pretty even here, although He-Man looks, I don't know, a little bit more yellowish than Faker. I mean, we can see on camera, it's definitely showing a difference in tone. Again, there is a difference in hair color too. I think you guys can see it right there. Now, as far as height, they are exactly the same height. They better be. You know, Faker's supposed to be He-Man. Now, let's take a look at the two swords. Well, there goes He-Man's hand, right? So, the two swords, I mean, they're virtually identical. We have He-Man's with the gray and the silver, and Faker's with the orange and silver. Okay. Now let's check this out. Let's see how well Faker looks with his little Skeletor-esque armor here. So we got two pieces that basically buckle right on the back here. Now, to put this on, I will have to take his head off. Pops right off. I had it a little bit backwards. Might have to play with this just a wee bit. I'm actually having a little trouble getting this fit on. There we go. There's one, and we're gonna get the other one on. There we go. Just barely got it on there. Now, with how some of this fits on, let's go full metal head for him. Now, of course, with some of like with NECA, you might want to soften this up, heat it up a little bit. But there we go. We have Faker. I mean, I get the armor, but I think he looks better with the He-Man armor on, because I barely got this on. I mean, it's the thing you can do from the show, but it just, I don't know, it doesn't look right to me for some reason. I mean, this kind of rises right up against his neck, so you don't see much of a neck. And it was really hard to get it on there. So we're going to just take that right off. Rip his head off. And we're going to put the He-Man armor back on, because I think, you know, either have him without anything on, or have him with the He-Man armor on. Personally, I think that looks way better. So we're just going to slide that back on. And ultimately, it is your figure, so you do what you want. So there we go. Got that back on. Let's check him out with his Terminator-like head. There we go. I mean, I think that looks really badass right there. I love the look of this. They did a tremendous job with the sculpts. And even with the robot sculpt, I think they really did a great transition here. I mean, it really looks like it's progression. You know, sorry about that. The camera skipped a little bit. It really looks like progression from solid face to partial face to all robot. I mean, they did a tremendous job on here. I mean, side by side, these figures look great, and I dare say that I think he looks better than He-Man actually does. It's crazy, I know. I think Faker, they did a little bit of a better paint application. I like the skin tone on here a little bit better. The hair. Whereas, you know, He-Man, his hair is all like curved in the back, and we get more of a natural, almost machine-like look right there. Big differences here in the sculpts. And that's consistent with the other figure head as well. I mean, they knocked it out of the park. They really did. You know? Of course, we get the shield. And, I mean, it's... For $20, I mean, this is awesome. In a time when we're hearing about increases with Legends and DC, this is tremendous. Now, if this is your first Motu figure, or rather Masters Universe Revelations motor, if you will, I mean, he gets your full tilts. We get some crunch. We get not much, but we get a decent amount of ab crunch right there. A little bit. The head is on a swivel, so he can do all kinds of craziness. He does have some tilt. Some maneuverability, not much. But this is Faker. So, guys, if you see him in your local Target or Walmart, I got him for $19.99. He's a steal at $19.99. Okay? No matter how you feel about the TV show, the figures have been tremendous. I mean, I dare say the figures are better than the show has been. I know because the show, they released the figures before the show came out. And after the show came out, a lot of people kind of condemned it because of their views or their beliefs in conjunction with the show and how they felt. Because a lot of people, when the show came out, they thought it was going to be their old 1980s He-Man and Masters Universe. It's not. It's a different take on it. You gotta go with an open mind. At least that's just my opinion. But the figures have just been straight fire. Now, part of this collection, there's another wave coming out, and personally, I'm looking forward to Tila and a few of the others. I would love to see Triclops and a few others, but we'll see what happens. Beastman, I think, is going to look fierce as a figure, but we'll see what happens. With this, it does show you the figures part of the series. Of course, we have Battle Cat, Skelegod, He-Man, Mossman, Skeletor, of course, and Evil Lynn. Now, I don't have Mossman. Nothing against Mossman. The character's in the show all of maybe 5 minutes at most. I think it's a pretty good sculpt, but for the price point, I personally couldn't justify it. I just couldn't right now. Battle Cat is a must. I mean, 30 points of articulation on every single one of these figures, including Battle Cat. And yes, you can remove his armor, and the sculpt they did on him was fantastic. The only thing they left off was a little bit of a beard that this different colored, and a little bit of an extra beard that Cringer has under Battle Cat. So, but that's the only negative thing right there, guys. So yeah, Faker, he's a definite must. I mean, the finish that they did on him, the silver finish, it's dynamite, guys. You cannot go wrong with this. And I mean, the sculpt, Mattel is hitting it out of the damn park. I wish the show was better received, because I think their sales would be much better, because I've seen a few of these peg warming, honestly, at Walmart's. But I mean, the joints are nice. They're not too loose. They're not too stiff. You don't feel like you're going to break him. Everything feels fantastic. Like I said before, these figures feel like a cross between NECA and Marvel Legends. The Hasbro style figures with the joints that they have swivel right in the leg right there. You get the knee joints, and it's like they gave us the flexibility in the feet, like we're known for, like DC is known for with their Multiverse collection. It's like they took some of the best attributes of all three brands, and they somehow threw it in here. Mattel, you're killing it, guys. You are killing it. This is probably one of my new favorite figures in the line. Obviously He-Man was awesome. Cringer, Battle Cat was amazing. Even Evil Lynn, I think they killed it with her sculpt. I mean, this does not look like Evil Lynn. She looks fantastic. But guys, if you see him, grab him. You want to grab him because he's awesome. And I mean, look at the different accessories they give us. They give us an extra pair of hands. They give us 2 additional heads, the shield, additional Skeletor armor, everything. You can't go wrong with this, guys. So there we are. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's definitely a 9. He's a 9 to a 9.5 at best, guys. With that being said, I'm going to have links to the original videos I did when I first got my first couple Masters Universe Revelation figures. And also, I'm going to have our YouTube warriors. Those are other YouTubers. I'm going to have the links to their videos or their channels in the description below. Please check them out. Do me that tremendous favor. They're just people like you and me who make awesome, amazing content that you don't want to miss out on, guys. So, there you are. Here I am. Until next time, guys, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting, and I will always catch you on the flip side.